are going into the 5th cycle now, and I have no idea if we're still being hunted by that awful, awful thing or not. And I'm Seth on duty. Let's get into it. We have to make 100 cryo in order to buy a vial of stabilizer. And I actually don't really know where to start with this episode. What should we do? We have a couple of dice left. We need to make money. So, honestly, I think we should just get to work, because that's one thing that's been very reliable, is doing work for our friend Dragos. I'm gonna hit the 4 over here at Cutter Salvage. Nice. So we made some cryo with the safe one. Still 50-50 for neutral, but 25% positive, 25% negative. Let's try it. Yes, neutral outcome. So all that actually earns us is advance towards this complete. Let's have a look here at our drives. We can build a ship mine, talk to Fang, extract the past. So we need Solheim data for Fang. Eat at Emphasis Stall, which we have been doing now and then. And the Winter Light. Yeah. Let's, we're actually extremely stable. And we have some money now. Oh, I bet if we just wait for tomorrow, we won't get as many dice rolls, so we have to eat something. We gotta eat something. Let's do it. Kaboom. Ooh, that gained us 3. If we eat one more time, probably in a few cycles, we can learn a bit more of his story. I know that set us back a little bit, but we did have to eat, and then it should give us the maximum dice rolls for tomorrow. So, one more second here. Yeah, we need dice rolls for these. Okay. Okay. Shouldn't be an issue. We do have these encrypted keys. I have no idea where to put them. These are the Solheim gates. A Solheim node. What about the agent? The Tagen agent? Okay. So there's a few things available to us. I wonder if Fang knows anything about these encrypted data. Delivered data. He only wants the Solheim data. Yeah, he doesn't want the encrypted keys. Okay. I'm sure we will eventually discover where to put it. It's not here. What about at the shipyard? Nope, not the shipyard either. Yeah, where do we put the data? I guess we'll find out soon enough. Go to sleep. Nice. Yes, we gained a full stack of dice. 1, 2, 5, 5, and 6. I'm hoping everybody's day is going very well, and if you like this kind of content, make sure to hit that thumbs up down below. Lets me know. Now that we have these, ooh, I could make more money. Not that one. Here, the Ort Exchange. We also have that freighter that I looked at last time. We could buy scrap. Oh, that just costs cryo. Right. That's the -1. Because it's a bit risky. With the Ort Exchange, we have risky, but this is 100% chance of success. Let's do it. Yes. Oh, we got ++ trusted trader on that. And some cryo. So that was good. Let's go ahead and work for Dragos. We want to help him with cutting. Nice. So that's done for the day. And we just got 100 cryo. So first thing we should do is buy a vial from our friend. Sabine is selling off the case of stabilizer vial by vial. You haven't been able to talk with them since your last visit. +1 stabilizer, -100 cryo. Toshira takes the chits and hands you a vial. When you ask after Sabine, he doesn't respond. As you quickly leave the surgery, eager to be away from Toshiro's glare, you notice something wrapped around the stabilizer vial, clutched tightly in your hand. You open your hand and a thin film marked with holes and sigils unrolls from around the vial. At one end it has a hard metal strip, a handle. Inspect the film. You hold the cloudy film up to the light. It is perforated with an ornate pattern of holes. You can make out a word among the markings. Pass key. Is this an entry key for somewhere? Inspect the handle. The metal handle is worn and pitted, but you can see a set of numbers imprinted onto it. 207F, and then crudely scratched into the handle at some later date. Low end. For a moment, you consider going back to the surgery to return the key, and then quickly think better of it. Did Sabine want you to have this, or is Toshiro passing on a message? Time to head to the low end and find out. Yes, we got a completed drive. Let's upgrade something Yeah, endure is never... Oh wait, we can do it right here. Baseline endure. Yes. Now we have no deficits when we do anything. Any action now will always be at least not a -1. Let's go to the low end. Oh, we can't. We need 60 cryo. Unit 207F passkey. A passkey for an apartment found wrapped around a stabilizer vial. Well, shoot. We need 60 cryo. We only have 3. 207F. That's what I thought. It's like floor 207 or something to that effect. Now that I don't have a -1 on endure, I am gonna try to unload the containers. 50% positive chance, 50% neutral chance. Let's see if we can help them out. Yes, plus 15 cryo. So we're at 18. That's doing okay. This is repeatable, but not for today. We should do something. Should I do something in this this world? In the cloud? We have a match for 2 right here. Plus 5 cryo, extract the data. Plus 1 encrypted key. The data here is part of a cache, tucked away during the collapse. Who hid this, and for what purpose? Alright, we have one more 1 die left. Nope. Nope. What about... Ah, here we go. The Solheim node A21. This node is leaking corrupted contractor lists from the early days of the system's Palladium rush. Well, let's get some of that leaky data. And we got the Solheim data, yeah. Data extracted. Okay, we can take that to Fang now. Here you go, Fang. Eat the data, buddy. Pay me for Solheim data. Plus 15 cryo, plus scoping the systems, right here. Fang wants to get a look at what data is hiding deep in the subsystems of the eye. Okay, so we're done for the day. We'll only get 3 dice rolls tomorrow. I don't really want to spend my cryo if we have to make 60 to move on to the next area. So, this is a decision I am going with. Ooh. Oh wait, no, we did get full. Oh, it's because we're stable. I got you. We could also inject the stabilizer, but there's no point to do that just right now. But it should increase our stability, our condition. Cool, cool. We have that too. I kind of want to go back in here. A 1 or 3 rats. Here's a 3. Now we're at 2. So 3 or 2. The data will give us better money. So let's go with that. See. Solheim node A07. This networked storage holds corporate records, most of them corrupted by a failed system surge. Bypass. Extract the data. +1 Solheim data. So that one is now done. Okay, Fang, we got another one for you. Big money, big money. 15, nice. +1 to scoping the systems, -1 Solheim data. So we do have one more. I'm super curious what's going to happen if we do that. Let's help out our scrappers. 100% positive action. Nice, we got energy from that. Hey, and 15 cryo. Good work. So, Solheim node. We could do a 3. I'm gonna do it. A Solheim daemon attempts to protect this node, squeaking out protective protocols like a mantra. Okay, Fang, here's the last one, buddy. Please, 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 give us something good. +15 cryo. And we completed this one here. We have 83. We can move to the next zone. And we have 2 6 die left. Hell yeah. Let's leave and go back to Fang. As you enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. He's right there. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms. Unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads! Fang's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on a metal casing. These snaky shitheads. Who's snaky? Let's be quiet. Sleeper? That you, or am I in trouble? Fang's grinning head pops out from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thumbing stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the floor. Fang is sat in front of a set of monitors mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Fang waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. Shitheads? I'm gonna say people. People, yes, but whose people? Solheim? Havenage. Ha! Not quite Havenage. He taps at the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in. All employees of the Eye's original owner, Solheim, but... He leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a snaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with a finger. The name reads Hardin Hurst. Friend of yours? Ben gives you a sideways look. Funny you should say that, sleeper. He drags a stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Hardin Hurst in Havenage. He awaits for your reaction. Are you sure? Well, that's where you might be able to help me. Bang leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Hardin worked on this station as a... Bang leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Fang raises his eyebrows at you. Our Hardin was keeping the money coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out to were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risks and kept the profit. Good old Hardin shuttled thousands of Palladium rush workers into an infrastructure which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back into Solheim. How do you know this? I grew up here, sleeper. This is my history. I'm a child of the collapse. Bang turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked on Solheim ships. They breathed Solheim air and slept in Solheim beds. Bang's voice rises as he speaks, his hands fists on the terminal edge. And the work that paid for their existence? The cycles of hard extraction out in the belt? Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak. My parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Hardin once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums. And then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going, still here, crawling the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. Surely it can't be him. But how? I mean, people can live a long time, man. These guys, they were big time. There's a lot of money. There's a lot money can get you if you're a company man. Bang relaxes a little. But how is Hardin still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles. So we're going to find out. Hardin is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back from around the eye from here. Feng brings up a map of the lower eye. Havenage might be born out of Erland's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy is not. Hardin happened to float to the top. Feng zooms in on the far yards. Feng grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid, and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Feng holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out like a silken thread of filtered data. This one is set on the scent of Hardin Hurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Feng puts a hand on your shoulder. But you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Feng grins. If you can extract yourself a Havenage cipher from a Havenage agent, they sometimes carry them among their data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. So what do you say? Up for it? I'm gonna say yeah. I knew it. I knew you'd be happy to catch this snake. And don't worry, once we nail this guy, I'll start work on that tracker of yours. I haven't forgotten. Bang scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it'll send it back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Fang digging through data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the Eye as it once was. A vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems, looking for a new life. The hope of a better future, engineered to line someone else's pockets. It's an idea you are all too intimately familiar with. You think of Hardin, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. Well, very good. So that's the shipyard right here. And he said, what did he say? Get to one of those agents? I thought we already did that. Have an agent. Ah, we need a 2 or a 3. Okay. Maybe tomorrow. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. So we still have a 6 and a 6. Let's gain access to the low-end gate. They want their toll money? Here you go. Now let me in. Low-end access unlocked. Action unavailable. So if we leave... Oh, here we go. You hand over the chits to the Atagan enforcer and he nods you through. Kaboom. Unit 207F, we have low-end ramshackle residential district. And the Free Spoke towering transit hub. What's this one here? Founders Gap. Gap in the Ring Station. Is there any more? Oh, there's a few agents here. A Keynode. A Togan agent. Okay. So the low end, kind of ironic because this looks like a high end to me. But let's get into this apartment complex. Unlock the apartment. You find the entrance to the apartment. Its passkey symbol obscured beneath layers of graffiti. Who lives here? Well, let's find out. Give him the passkey. Open up. Apartment unlocked. The lock clunks open, the metal door swinging inward into the dark. As you push the door open, the automatic lights flicker on inside the apartment. They reveal yellowing plastic panels, the curved shape of wall-mounted utility units, the detritus of routine life arranged on every surface. You step inside, clicking the door shut behind. The amber light of the aging fixture glazes everything with pale orange. The work surfaces hold a variety of objects, indistinct in the dull lighting. A pale blue light drifts from a doorway at the end of the room. Go to the doorway. You cross the cramped utility room with its auto wash, dispensers, water closet towards the doorway. Through the doorway is a dark, warm room, lit only by the faint glow of a terminal screen. Inspect the room. A bunk is tucked into the wall, the blankets ruffled. A wall desk glitters with rows of vials and containers. A briefcase lab sits open, loaded with rows of reagents and compounds you do not recognize. In comparison, this room is clean, ordered, and controlled. Approach the terminal. As you approach, there's a crackle from somewhere in the dark. Sleeper! Sabine's voice shakily echoes through the apartment. Welcome to my home. I'm sorry I can't be there. I have to make alternate arrangements. You hear rattling noise. Static. I was able to record this message, but I don't dare to show my face. Something is happening with the Italian. I no longer trust them. Their voice becomes distant, sleeping behind the background noise. I have something to ask of you. I want you to get me out. The Italian were supposed to hide me, to protect me. After everything happened, I was desperate. And then, after that, I was too tired to care. A noise like waves passes over the recording. But I'm done with them now. I want out. Screw the debt. But I need insurance, something I can hold against them. I have my suspicions, but I can't be sure. I need information, and as you know, you need me. A pause, something clicking in the dark. This isn't a threat. You have to understand my position here. Another pause. I know sleepers. I've been here before. I can help you, but not with the Itagan's noose around my neck. Get me data, get me information, get me something that I can use against the Itagan. Then I can get out and get you can get what you need. Please. Waves of static cut into Sabine's voice. Bring it here to my terminal. I'll get to it when I can. You look around the tiny room and try to imagine Sabine living here, working at the desk, sleeping in the bunk, blinking into the terminal in the dark. The recording cuts to static, filling the room with a white hiss. Then, silence. Can we access the terminal? You sit in front of the humming terminal and hit a few keys. Sabine has left an access port open, but the rest is encrypted, locked away behind passcodes. It seems Sabine might not trust you as much as as they want you to think. Who does Sabine need to hide from? And what debt do they owe to Yatagan? You try to assemble the pieces, but too many are missing. The only thing you know is that without stabilizer, your body will die. You glance at the briefcase lab on the desk. Its glassware glinting in the dark. You turn away and leave, the door clucking shut behind you. Back in the corridor, you notice the scrawled graffiti of a blade on the opposite wall. Yatagan. You feel yourself being drawn into something you don't quite understand. Well, we got a new drive from that. So, let's try. We can try exploring the low end. Playing Tavla. The clack of filter caps can be heard in every concourse in the low end as the residents playing rotating rounds of this game for cryo. I mean, I can get 100% off of this. We can also do maintenance, maintained by their residents. The ramshackle blocks are always in need of repairs. Helping out is a good way to make friends. And then we have this one over here. Enter the spoke. A tangled network of service passages and makeshift tunnels cut through the spoke as if it were a hive. There are no maps here. We can also scale the spoke. Blistered with the precarious elevators and stairways, the spoke can be navigated from the outside, but the climb requires bravery. This freighter's gonna leave in one day. Yeah, they're gonna leave either the end of the next cycle, I believe. Doing that doesn't really help anybody, though. So let's help out Dragos. Do the forensic trawl of the winter light. +2 to winter light and 1 scrap item. Oh, we can do it again. We didn't make any cryo, though. But we can figure out where it came from. No, let's I'm stuck. Should I just make money? I don't think it matters, honestly. No, because if we break it down, we're not going to discover anything. I want to know where it came from. Oh, and we got scrap. Ship mine fragment. Could be reassembled with the right tools and a few more fragments. We got scrap components. Useful salvage to the right person. There we go. Let's go home for the day and end the cycle. Ooh, that drained a lot of energy. Let's do one more day. I definitely want... Let's get at that Avenage agent. And it's a 2 or a 3? Ah, we don't have either of those. Of course. What about you? 2 or a 3? Okay. Slot Havenage Cipher. Oh, we don't have one of those. Right, we need this cipher. Okay. So that's what they're talking about. What about... Oh, that's it, eh? Okay. So none of that today. That's okay. What I will do... Let's help Dragos out finish this. Definitely with the 6. And we got another scrap item. And throw a 4. Please, please, please. Oh no. +1 to yard clearance. Come on. Yes. Okay, we completed Winter Light. Now let's discover where we came from. Squeezed into the office at the entrance to the yard, you lay out everything you have on the Winter Light across the metal desk. Your makeshift forensic notes glow on Dragos's old writing slate, overlapping lines and scrawled annotations. A set of drone scans fill the small terminal with a spectrum of colors, a heat map of damage and decay, a crumbled printout from the ship's office's ship registry lies beside them. Synthetic paper so thin it is almost transparent. Oh, let's look at the printout. A plain list shows the registration history of the Winter Light. The gaps between the entries tantalizingly opaque. Its first registration was a couple of thousand cycles ago on this very station, logged at the central hub. From here, the registry tells the story of a busy ship, one that rarely stayed on station for more than a few cycles, and often took on voyages that kept it away from the eye for up to 100 cycles. The Winter Light got little rest. Look at the monitor. Reactor failure. That is the verdict that anyone would have returned after a cursory glance at these stacked heat maps of the remains of the Winter Light. On the terminal screen, the ship is shown in section, blotches of color marking the approximate damage the ship sustained. Dominating the view is a single blood-red rose radiating from the ship's fraction drive. A simple story, a catastrophic failure of the drive core leading to a fatal hull breach. A well-documented failure, likely brought on by wear or misuse. But you aren't looking at the rose of the reactor, you're looking at a smaller, paler mark, one that might be easy to miss at first glance. It is thumbprint size, and delicately placed over the control servos for the ship's main external airlock. It suggests a controlled, shaped explosion, one designed to punch through the hull and allow access to the airlock from the outside. You are looking at it because it is troubling you. Look at the slate. Your attempts at a reconstruction of the Winter Light before its fatal accident consists of a series of overlapping sketches and diagrams showing possible layouts and configurations of the gutted cutter. This was no off-the-shelf model. It was heavily modified, parts replaced with inventive configurations, the new retrofitted into the old, handmade joints and reconditioned filters. This was someone's pride and joy, a lifetime project kept running with care and intuition. It also contained a hidden set of compartments. You missed them at first, where the hull had been thickened, the corners rounded to disguise the change, but they are there. An old ship, many cycles under its belt, carefully maintained. A reactor failure preceded by a carefully concealed external entry. A suite of hidden compartments tucked away. This was the Winter Light, and this was its story. But that's not the full story, because there's something else. It is little more than a list. A tiny chunk of data you were able to pull from the ship's systems. The main systems were fried, of course, but the Winter Light had a separate system, one tucked away in one of its hidden compartments. Armored. Air-walled. This list, the only recoverable piece from the whole system, is a partial inventory. It details the contents of the hidden compartments. Some of it you recognize, some of it you don't. Ship-mined ROMs, shimmer, cryochain codes, and then the final entry, passenger, sleeper. You stare at the list on the terminal and try not to think about what it was like arriving here, in the cold for so long, half frozen in the freight container. Had this sleeper been smarter, luckier? How had they convinced the Winter Light, a smuggler's ship, if you ever saw one, to extract them from Essen Arp? Luckier, you laugh. There had been no remains found in any of the Winter Light's compartments. You had checked. They weren't so lucky, you guess. not in the end. You hold up a vial of stabilizer to the light. This was all you find in their compartment. Parting gift from S and Arp. Well, it won't go to waste now. You put it back in your pocket. The thought still bothers you, though. 2 ships carrying sleepers coming into the same yard? 2. One after the other. That feels wrong. You flick back and forth between the datasets on the terminal, thinking, and you see that thumbprint again. The mark of someone trying to get in. Someone who entered the winter light with precision and speed, and when they were done, left the reactor to clean up the rest. The thought of that person makes you shiver. Suddenly, the office door creaks open. Drago stands in the doorway, staring at the equipment and notes you have assembled. What is all this? He snatches a slate from the desk faster than you realize he could move. You're running an investigation here? What am I paying you for? The drone on his shoulder starts whining shrilly, his anger passing to it through his implants. Are you hiding something? Where is the ship from? Or do we stay silent? You'll have to find out next time on Citizen Sleeper. I'm Seth on duty.